Alright, you know what? It's getting a bit late. Let's just start and don't worry about the preamble or the waiting for people or the advertising for people. Hi everyone, it's me, Gabby. I'm here, back on my bullshit. And by bullshit I mean playing Umineko Chapter 5. And by bullshit Umineko Chapter 5, I mean what are we doing anymore? I can't remember. Last time I don't exactly remember what happened last time I left off, but the general gist of this episode is so what if we played Umineko? What if Umineko happened and we played it and nobody? What if Umineko was being played by people who didn't actually give a shit about Umineko? That is the um that's basically the deal behind this episode so far. It's just the witches are just playing Umineko without the characters of Umineko, and are kind of just bastardizing the whole process. And Battler came late, and so he's just sort of essentially watching a long narration of what happened up until the point he showed up, and trying to see if he can figure out what the hell why Beatrice has even been trying to make Umineko why this thing is happening in the first place. If he gets to a revelation, I really hope he does. Otherwise, this episode might feel like it's kind of a waste of time. But, it's still enjoyable, but it can also be enjoyable and also still be a waste of time at the end. So, let's go. The sun returned to the guest house at 3 a.m. Then the rest of you split up around 30 minutes later, right? Okay, yeah, so I think this is, Erica is trying to piece together who the culprit is of the first Twilight? Question mark? Where are we up to again? No, not the magic bullshit. We don't need to worry about that part yet. Yeah, I think it's still just the first Twilight at the moment. Yeah, okay. Well, sorry. Yeah, no, the mic's working as well, so that's good. It seems Erica is also steadily building her foundation. It's useless. Whether alibis exist or not, she can't deny our existence. Kindo escaped through the window and is now one with the Mists of Rockenshima. She most certainly won't be able to capture or deny him. When all is said and done, perhaps you could say he's escaped to the underside of the chessboard. In that case, maybe it would be appropriate to say he's been stowed away. Come to think of it, how those corpses from the first Twilight? They've been stowed away too, right? Yes, they've been put, yeah, anyway. If you know the truth, you can win 100 battles without fighting. Yeah, it's almost like Battler. If Battler knows the truth, he could probably do this without having another 5 episodes. Oh my. There are 5 sacrifices for the first Twilight in this game, not 6. Oh, it's you, teacher. I was worried about where you'd gone. The game has already reached the first Twilight, and as you see, the first victims have appeared. It's finally time. I'm getting all excited. I see. The you that is here looks to be in high spirits. I'm pleased. got high spirits and a captivating body. Add in my charming disposition, and you've got my only strong points. Ha ha ha. I see. So, anyone looking at George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, or Genji's corpses could confirm at a glance that they are dead. Red? Well, there's no point in me holding out against you. Right? At a glance, anyone could confirm that these corpses are dead, so it's absolutely impossible that they're just playing dead. Why did Leah use the red? Who knows? Since she always is thinking what's best for Milady. Why did you have Garb hide the corpses? As that, since the epitaph has already been sold, this game of mine is a little bit different than usual. Yeah, it's true. I now have serving and protecting Natsuhi as my goal. How would concealing their corpses protect Natsuhi? We've more or less figured out what our opponent's moves will be. This is probably a trap meant to corner Natsuhi. Most likely they'll sort through alibis of the first Twilight and find them for everyone except her. Last night, Natsuhi-sama was the first to leave the family conference, and then rested alone in her room. Unfortunately, she has no alibi whatsoever until the next morning. We've already made Kinzo's existence impossible to deny. However, there is a single move remaining to our enemy that might cancel that out. I see. So they'll corner Natsuhi and make her confess that Kinzo doesn't exist. Indeed. The enemy is probably up to something like that. By watching the movements of pieces involved with the family conference, we quickly realized that Natsuhi was isolated. We noticed trapper players and countered with this. The corpses disappear! Everyone has alibis and no one exists who could have moved them. Not only does this support the claim of which exists, it also throws doubt on whether they were actually corpses in the first place, just barely allowing Natsuhi to escape being a suspect. No matter how many everyone claims to have witnessed their deaths, the red truth doesn't exist in the human world. Because the corpses don't exist, Natsuhi can discount their word as a mistake, some sort of trick, or she can say they're all lying. And it's possible for her to do this over and over to buy time for herself. I see. I've managed to grasp the flow of this game. I imagine it'll get quite nasty. We're fully aware of that, and we already know that Nazi is probably going to be lured into yet another trap. A trap. Indeed. Someone Lady Lambda Delta created, who calls himself a man from 19 years ago, was already threatening Natsuhi. She was ordered to go into a closet and insert in guest room in a few minutes at 1 p.m. and hide there. Krause was taken hostage, so Natsuhi can't resist. I see. How relentless. Can you protect her? Of course. After all, Natsuhi isn't the culprit. No matter how much he's treated as the culprit, both the truth and the phantoms are on our side. There's no way we'll lose. The Animal Crossing stuff? I don't really have any takes. I'm just a bit confused about that island resort thing because it just seems like a mini version of Happy Home Academy, and so like, or whatever the hell, whatever it is, it's the DLC. It just sounds like free version of the DLC for the people who don't have the DLC, and I'm like, I don't really know why they're doing that now. Lego collab sounds funny. What do you mean by that? Are you saying you suspect me? Oh, Natsuhi. Like, you don't deserve this shit, that's the problem. You're just trying to protect your family. Yep. You told me you left before anyone else returned to your room and didn't leave that room until morning. However, if you cannot prove that, it'll soon count as an alibi. Ridiculous. Why must I be suspected when I've lost a daughter? You're maliciously trying to make me look like the culprit just because I went to bed early last night. I cannot stand this humiliation any further. Oh, so what are you gonna do about it? Show us some kind of alibi that proves your innocence? As if you could. Give me George back, murderer. Stop it, Ava. Naughty-san, you're probably a bit tired too. Searching for alibis or the culprit would be truly laughable at this point. When the typhoon passes and the police come, everything will be exposed to the light of day. There's no reason whatsoever for us to play at being detectives. Am I wrong, Erika-san? Generally speaking, you're right. However, I do have the authority to do this. I'm leaving. I have no intention of going alone with your pointless questioning before the police come. If you suspect me, feel free to do so. I'm counting on the police to clear away that suspicion. Son, it's dangerous to go alone. Nazi, if you're returning to your room, make sure you lock it tight. Close the windows and shutters too, and stay safe. I don't want to suspect anyone. More than that, I don't want there to be any more victims. Thank you, Butler-kun. Then I'll return to my room. Goda, you're in charge now. I know this is a horrible situation, but see to it that our guests have everything they need. Yes, madam. Shall do so. At any rate, no matter how cowardly a trap it may be, I cannot disobey now. I am now the one who carries the burden of the one-winged eagle. Now that my husband Kraus has been captured, I must protect it, even if I have to crawl through the mud. Of course, I am prepared to do so. I am Ushiro Miya Natsuhi, even if I am not permitted to bear the one-winged eagle on my clothes. Father gave me permission to bear it in my heart. Might actually turn out for the better. Perhaps this is a good chance to confront the culprit directly. Oh, really? Shit. You can fucking you could stab someone with a naginata? That's cool as shit, Nazi. Oh yeah, okay, but she can't beat herself up. No. Where's the anime version of that? Yeah, so you got yeah, yeah. Naginata's like a yeah, it's like a longer. It's like a long stick with like a slightly longer blade, kind of like a spear thing. It's a very animation in a lot like anime shit. It's often wielded by women. I don't know if how much that's actually true in real life though. Um, yeah, obviously we need Umineko the fighting game where, but then again it's like what is it? I guess so you got I think no because so Ava knows martial arts, George knows martial arts, Jessica's like a brawler with like brass knuckles. Um I don't know what the hell Battler would use. Maybe he just uses like anti-magic bullshit like Phoenix Wright and like Marvel versus Capcom. Um, Obviously Beatrice just does all the chuny bullshit. Um, and Shannon, yeah, Shannon and Cannon also do the chuny bullshit. For all I know, there is an Umineko fighting game, and I just don't know it exists. But it it could actually genuinely work. Is there a Higurashi fighting game? Listen, if there's Tsukihime, if there's multiple Tsukihime fighting games, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Higurashi one. And he told me, okay, Umineko fighting game does actually exist. Okay, okay, it makes sense. I actually think it makes sense because there's enough characters here with chuny bullshit to justify this. Don't listen. Don't worry. I can't be bothered looking up, clicking on links on my Twitch chat at the moment. So in the end, I have no choice but to do what he says. I hate doing it, but I cannot disobey. And I guess the question is, what's going to happen while she's in the closet? I mean, she's definitely straight, so that's fine. I can't believe I'll be hiding in the darkness for a full hour, with nothing to hear except the wind and rain. Oh, okay. How naive of me. This must be my naivety. The hope that if their goal is to make me repent, nothing will happen here during this hour. Uncertainty and fear of that man's shadow are not what I need right now. Will someone suddenly come to this room, open this closet, and do something horrible to me now that I've come here in total secrecy as promised? That's what I should be worrying about. The culprit, or one of his accomplices, is very close by. If they wouldn't be able to observe me so thoroughly. I don't want to think it, but it's highly likely that the culprit bought off one of the servants. The culprit hid an eerie card with autumn written on it in my room. My personal room is always locked. That trick wouldn't have been possible without a key. Instead of believing that they obtained the key when the servants weren't looking, much more realistic to assume one of the servants lent the culprit a hand. But how did they know that autumn is my favorite season? How unsettling. Just once I told it to a single person. That's right. Shannon. card was probably meant to shock me and get me to do what he says, but he's actually dug his own grave. I never told anyone except Shannon that I like Autumn. Oh shit, she can use the red! Oh shit! This is unshakable proof that she's working with the culprit. Oh, it's unlocked. Why is Hideyoshi-san in this room? Tell me, Hideyoshi-san is the mastermind, or else an accomplice? Just in case. In this weather, it's pretty much night out there anyway. It's all useless. Aww. Hideyoshi, who'd lost his only son, was finally able to shed tears and cry now he was all alone like this. Thinking that he needed to support Eva and her. I still don't know how you pronounce it. He acted as though he alone was standing firm. However, he has a good right to cry as anyone. And now he's found a place where no one can see his tears. He finally let himself do it. And I've lost my daughter. I haven't seen her corpse with my own eyes, so it still doesn't really feel like she's dead. But if the one who carried her off was the culprit, and he had some repulsive motive for doing it, just thinking about it makes me feel my chest would tear itself apart. The reason I'm hiding in here now is I'm thinking more about my still living husband than my dead daughter. But if I were given the chance, I'd be wailing at the top of my lungs too. However, I still cannot let myself do that. It isn't because the man from 19 years ago told me to hide. It's because I'm the final head of the Ushiromiya family. Butler couldn't find the hidden gold yet and gained the head's ring. At the very, very end, when it's all over, I probably won't be able to prevent his ascension as the head. And when everything regarding the distribution of the inheritance is revealed, the Ushiromiya family honor and glory passed down from father will plummet to the earth. So, I am the final head. Butler couldn't probably inherit the remaining wealth of the Ushiromiya family. However, its history and honor will all end with my generation. Therefore, I am the final head. I must not cry, not yet, until I get my husband back and avenge my daughter. I will not be allowed to shed tears. In the closet, I silently hung my head as I listened to Hideyoshi-san's sobs. Who are you? Huh? How did you get in here? What's that? Oh, wait a sec. Wait, no. If this was a choose your own adventure game, this would be a really fun, opportunity for a choice. Get out of the closet or not. Of course, I don't actually know what the meaning behind all of this is, so. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life How sinful it would be to try and weigh those against each other. Dear, it's me. Could you open up? Eva. Uh, dear? What's happening? Dear? Open up! Open up! Open up, dear! Someone! I'm not really like used. I'm talking about like normal visual novels that have lots of choices like this. So yeah. Hell? Dr. Nanjo, look at my husband quickly! You've got to be kidding me. It's only been about 10 minutes since Uncle Hideyoshi went out saying he wanted to rest. Is there anyone in the bathroom? No. There's no one here. What could have happened? Aw, poor Eva. Yeah, the demon steak. Okay. Didn't I tell you to wait for me? Why did you go on alone? Stupid, stupid, stupid! Copper probably waited for us to get careless and split up. Oh, so it's interesting. This is like, yeah, they are. I mean, I kind of knew from the beginning that like I assumed somebody was gonna get killed in this room, and then they did that to make frame Natsuki for the murder. But like, yeah, this is the usual. This is the version of the locked room murder mystery where the culprit is hiding in the. They murder someone. They lock the room and they hide, and then they wait for everyone to come in, and then they just like blend in with the crowd. Shutters. They didn't budge an inch from the outside. I just went and checked. Erica. Is the inside of the room just like usual? There's no need to say it like that. My deepest condolences. So, what's the situation inside the room? No, no. Like so, yeah. This is the way somebody gets away of makes a locked room murder mystery. So they you the victim goes inside the room, the culprit locks all the room, and murders the person inside the locked room. Then they hide, wait for somebody else to unlock the room from the outside through force or whatever, and then slip out when nobody is noticing. And then they show up at the back and be like, rejoin the group and say, "Oh yeah, I was never there." That's how it works. We've definitely gone through this. They've mentioned these at some point, like probably multiple times throughout these many hours. Do whatever you want. All I'm interested in is the fact that a closed room has appeared that's much more serious than Kinzo-san's study. I have no interest in corpses, so do as you please. Feel free to carry that corpse out any time. I'm in the way. Okay, out of the way. Listen up, everyone. From now on, we'll always move as a group. You must not let yourself be isolated. When the culprit attacked Genji, you probably got a master key. Clearly, even locking up will no longer make you safe. But even the chain was set. How did they do it? Impossible for anyone except a witch, you say? Good. Has a nice ring to it. Erika-chan, are you listening? We've decided to stick together from now on. First, we're carrying Hideyoshi-san's corpse to the parlor. Can you hold off playing detective until we get there? I am a real detective! Excuse me! I may be like a 12-year-old girl, but I am also the great witch, the creation of the great witch, Bern Castell. Let's go, Miss Detective. Didn't you ever learn how to stick together on school field trips? Well, whenever I go traveling, someone always dies. She's like, what the fuck? What? Oh, I'm on mute. No, I'm not on mute. I can see the thing says that the thing the yeah on the OBS it says that the audio is working. So I mean, it might just be because these headphones are getting old and microphone are getting old and whatever, but I don't know. Okay, no one's found me. Still it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. That's Isan. I was just about to go and tell you the news. Thank you very much. Did something happen? Just now, Natsuhi-san. You were climbing the stairs, right? Your room is upstairs, isn't it? I couldn't sleep, so I was going to return to the parlor. But I wasn't sure whether I'd locked my room or not, so I was about to head back. I'm a warrior, so this sort of thing happens a lot. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that sort of thing does happen a lot. It's a common quirk amongst many people who aren't competent in their memory. Why are you by yourself, Erika-san? Oh no! I thought I'd investigate the guest room. Guest room? Yep. This situation's gotten pretty serious, hasn't it? And investigating the scene of the crime is my right. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. This is just a repeat of the first crime, isn't it? What do you mean? Again, you were in your room. And again, you can't prove your alibi, can you? I don't know what you mean. Turn it around. How can you prove I wasn't in my room? Ah, that. Then let's take this one step at a time. Please worry about your luck later. I have something vitally important to discuss with everyone. I'll come back after I check my lock. Please get started without me. Hideyoshi-san has been killed. We'll be talking about that. Oh, what? we're all here, I have something very important to discuss with you all. Something very important. Yes, it's very important. I'd like to lay out everything in front of you all, starting with the first crime. Oh, sorry. Would you close that door for me? Yes. Checkmate. Oh, fast. Wow, so you figured out the culprit already? We've barely gotten to any of the crimes, right? You could have just let me kill a few more and gathered a few clues yourself. Okay, Lambda, gather all the pieces. Now we're getting to the most interesting part. Let's both enjoy it to the fullest. Well, let's see. Why don't you show me what you've got? To think she'd lay down the challenge without waiting for a game set at 24 o'clock. What a hasty person, that Lady Burncastle. It is quite an early challenge. I think she's already managed to obtain a winning hand at this stage. Normally you can win just by claiming a wish exists, but with Natty and Kinzo, we've got a lot we need to protect this time. Sounds like this fight will be a pain. No problem at all. I want them to do what they say please with my Golden Island any longer. Bring it on, Lady Burncastle. Furudo Erika. So is this the point where Battler shows up, or is there more? Well, we're going anyway. Meanwhile, in Otherland. Right. Yep. I don't even know how this fucking works. He had to. This is the point where he just showed up, so he's not here anymore because he's back in time. I don't know. I believe it's safe to say that at least in the game over who the culprit is, Adler has gained such strength that he will never surrender again. By the fourth game, you had sent him all your messages. In other words, at this time, Batlakun is capable of realizing the truth at any moment. However, he's still soft in some ways. So, even if the games continue like this 100 times, he won't so solve it for all eternity. He'll just wander forever, like someone trying to find the bluebird. Oh, I know that from Zero Escape. And that is you, Beatrice. It's the same for you. Even if this game continues hundreds more times, you will never reach the answer you seek for all eternity. Vern Castell will abuse this game without a doubt. Lambda Dells will also churn this game about with the utmost arrogance. At a glance, that may be humiliating and appear to you and Battler as though the game is being stolen from you. However, that is something the two of you need right now. To end Battler's naive softness, to end your hesitation. Whatever the fuck this game actually is! And that's why you called the two of them here. To end the eternal torture between you. Is that it? So what are you saying? You're saying that the timeline shit was always going to happen, and then you subconsciously put the witches in so they would hijack things, because when you needed to hijack the game to do something completely fucking crazy for you guys to realize what this game actually is, whatever this game actually is, because you haven't told me. Those two will bring you either victory or defeat. But no matter how it goes, that result has already been filled with compassion. You should understand that as well by now. Beatrice, how long do you intend to stay here? Neither alive nor dead. Who's really pulling the strings? Who fucking knows? Not rising up to heaven, nor falling into hell. There on the peak of Mount Purgatory. I am Virgilia. I have guided him through purgatory and brought him to you at its peak. Get it? Get it, Dante? I am Virgil. I love how Dante's Inferno is actually just a guy's OC fanfic, though, and Virgil is like he was just this like Greek poet or something like this, and he was just like, yeah, and so I go on a journey to hell with my favorite poet, Virgil, who's like guiding me, and they're all of my everybody that I hate is in hell, and I get to see how they're burning in hell, and then I get to go to heaven, and like, it's so funny. And you are Beatrice. You must choose whether to take his hand and rise up to heaven, or grab him and fall into hell. You know that the Discord called Purgatory, which lies in the gap between heaven and hell, is sometimes more torturous than even hell itself. On the gates of hell is written you must abandon all hope. A human without hope can accept their suffering and give up. However, the residents of Purgatory have hope. A hope of possibly reaching heaven, a hope that cannot be abandoned. And it tortures them. Even in the depths of hell, no greater torture device exists than the single pin known as hope. Fly from the cliffs of Purgatory. Take with you the regrets caused by your fleeting, fragile, foolish hopes, and open up Pandora's box. Are you scared? Scared of opening the box? Is the cat in the box alive or dead? Is this cat's box? Is this Pandora's box or Schrodinger's box? The time has now come to check. If the cat is dead, quickly hold a funeral for it and have it rise to heaven. If the cat is alive, quickly feed it and give it all of your affection. Whether it is alive or dead, your cat box eternally desecrates the cat. The key to the box that you were afraid to open has been brought to you by those two. Please, hurry up and move the fucking plot along. We could keep doing this for all of eternity because murder mysteries are fun, but I think at this point the audience is starting to lose their patience. Beatrice, it's time for you to die now. I hope that your heart is stopped by the hands of the person you desire. Next chapter of Umineko. I mean, I don't know what you call it. Next scene? I don't even know what you call these things. Scene, probably. They're very long scenes, though. This clock animation's also going for a while. Okay, no, it's midnight. Why is it going to midnight? I don't remember anymore. Is that supposed to be repeating it? Whatever. All of the pieces from the game board were gathered. All of the humans, furniture, witches, and the witches on an even higher level had gathered in one place. The chapel place? I don't know what's happening anymore. Again, I that's what's fun, though. I think that's something that's fun about this kind of format, is they can make the next scenes be something absolutely, completely fucking different, and you have no choice but to just... You get that sense of sudden confusion, sudden, like, changes in pacing and tone and everything. It's very fun. It was a strange place. But for some reason, no one wondered where this strange place was, because they were not given the right to think of this place as strange. The pieces? Have they all been gathered? Yes, they have. Well done. What a show. I wonder just how many people there are here. Like, this feels like it's leading up to the finale, but I don't know any, you never know. No matter how many we see, every being outside the 18 is a phantom. Making you acknowledge them is what my game's all about. Great Lady Lambda Delta, we thank you for granting our request for an assembly. And Great Lady Litburn Castell, my master, Please look forward to it. Though it may only be for a short while, I will most certainly make my master forget about the poison that torments her. Yes, I am looking forward to it. I'd expect no less from my double, my piece. Listen up, witches and humans. I hereby announce that with this assembly of witches gathered, the course of illusions will now begin. Whatever the fuck that means. Your lives and roles as they correspond to this game are over. The 5th game is now closed, and the 24 o'clock answer session shall begin. You mean Umineko, the answers arc? Well, I'd like to get started quickly, but why don't we have everyone quickly introduce themselves first? After all, there are so many people here. I am Landa Delta, the Witch of Certainty and the new commander of this game. Ben Castell, Witch of Miracles. My goal is to penetrate Beatrice's illusion of the witch. I am the Endless Witch, Beatrice. My goal is to claim my own existence and to protect Natsuhi and Kinzo. Battler-sama, you come next in rank. I'm Yashiromir Battler. I'm fighting against against the witches. That's all. As I believe you know, you joined in on this game partway through. At the time of this assembly of witches opened, you have yet to participate. Oh, okay. What? Yeah, okay. So, this is past the point where Battler shows, okay. Before the point. Do you understand? I get it. You probably mean I don't have the right to speak for a while, right? Thank you for understanding. I kind of like this because it's almost like it's kind of making me feel like Happy November. Oh yeah, I mean it's been November for me for quite a few hours. Power of Aussie future magic. I like how they're doing. I don't know, just something about that scene kind of sounds cool. Where it's like, I guess it's the witches are finally sort of acknowledging that Battler is kind of this cool person who can kind of be acknowledged as opposed to just their endless tormenting plaything, even though they kind of do still treat him like an endless tormenting plaything. I don't know. Just like this idea that he's almost like moving up in the world, that he's sort of grown in power and status, right? I don't know. I think it's cool. You might have said you were my arch enemy. Well, you aren't necessarily my only enemy. Let's take this game back. It belongs to us. Yeah. Who should I fight and how? Maybe it's a good thing I have the right to speak for a while. I'll calm down and coolly watch over everything. I'm the detective and the one who called for this assembly of witches, Furudo Erika. I will expose the culprit of the 5th game and stick a charming period at the end of this tale. I'm also looking forward to it. Okay, remaining pieces, introduce yourself in whatever order. Humans, introduce yourself, all of you. I am Ushiromia Kinzo. I slipped out of the study window and am hiding somewhere on Rokunjima. Ushiromia Kraus. Currently, I have been captured and being confined somewhere. I'm Ushiromia Eva. I'm alive. Ruben Rudolph. The rest of us are all Ushiromias too, so I'll leave off the family name. I'm Rosa. I was killed on the first Twilight. Jessica. I also died in the first Twilight. I'm George. I also died in the first Twilight. Maria. I died, but look, I'm here talking. See? Dying isn't this a big deal, right? I am Ushiromia Natsuhi. I am alive. Hideyoshi here. I was killed just a short while ago. Kyrie, I'm still alive. Nanjo, I am also hanging in there. My name is Genji. I passed away on the first Twilight. I'm Shannon. I'm still alive. I'm Canon. I'm also still alive. I love how... Wait, no, wait, wrong button. What is it? Alt F4, is it? No, crap. That's the wrong button. Shit. Own save. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever done on stream. Well, good thing the fast forward button exists. Should've. Can't remember what that button is. Anyway, let me double check what the screenshot button on Steam is again, though. It is, I I can't remember. Wait, I can go to if I go to something else. It is F12. It's F12. Okay. Anyway, now time fast forwarding time, guys. You know what? It shouldn't be too bad because at least there weren't really any action scenes or anything. So now I know the Alt F4 is force quit. Okay, well, I'm back. I'm up. I cannot. Okay, I'll make a new save just after this scene, just so I can, you know. Okay. Okay, let's just make another save, just in case. Didn't take too long. There we go. Now, good enough. I'm Goda. Pleased to meet you, everyone. I'm Kumasawa. Pleased to meet you. Now, on to the witches. Everyone introduce yourself. My name is Virgilia. I am Beatrice's teacher. I'm Garp. Making corpses disappear is my job. Renove. I'm in charge of making black tea. I greet you in the name of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory. I served in the murder of Hideyoshi on the Second Twilight. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory, right here. Let's then have Lady Erica's furniture introduce themselves. Oh yeah, right, they're here. Gertrude, I'm an assistant inquisitor of Heresy. Cornelia, I'm an assistant inquisitor of Heresy. Delanore Knox is my name. I am Lady Erica's primary assistant. Butler, I expect much from you. Please don't disappoint me. Let's just vote to give it all we've got. Most of the time, there will be no need for Glanor to step forward. However, when the witch side plays forward with ugly word games, I'll need to have Glanor convict them. A miracle like the one in the study won't happen again. And finally, let us introduce ourselves. We are the Chiesta Sisters, Imperial Guards, who have been tasked with management of proceedings at this assembly of witches. Like, you can imagine this is essentially, happening in Maria's head. She's like, yeah, and then all the witches come in, bunny girls, and Beatrice's 7 sister stakes, and my family and friends, and everybody, and that wish, and the witch from Umineko, Higurashi When They Cry, that game which I probably played which I shouldn't have, even though I probably can't read, and actually none of this makes sense. And hey, I just realized that the Chiesta Sisters have the one-winged eagle on their legs. Cool, I guess? Cool. This ends the introduction of all pieces. A total of 38 people are present here. Very well, then I guess we'll get started. Let the person who called this meeting begin. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Goat. Refill my drink. And some popcorn for me. Yeah, that's right. The one who decided demons ought to eat popcorn when watching a play was you, after all. What does that mean? Is that another Higurashi reference, or whatever? Yes, I intend to enjoy this. And could I get some black tea and mustard miso? Erica, begin. I'm already starting to get bored. Yes, my master, leave it to me. Order, silence. Actually, I mean, there isn't another important question. Lambda Delta, where's your other piece? The threatening voice that was threatening, Natsuhi. Surely that's a real piece, right? I don't know. I, Furuto Erika, will make an accusation. The murderer of the 5th game is... Ushiramiya Natsuhi-san. You are the culprit. And I'm pretty sure that was... Just sisters, please take the defendant to a chair. Understood. But what are you doing? Let go of me! I, Furuto Erika, will now reconstruct why the crime is only possible for Ushiramiya Natsuhi. Vito, of course you'll be challenging this, right? Naturally. I'm the Ushiramiya family alchemist, Beatrice the Golden. Furuto Erika, I challenge you. I'll take these false accusations you're trying to place on my master and tear them apart. Beatrice. Fear not, Natsuhi. You are my master, and you are the true head with the one-winged eagle engraved in your heart. Do not fear a crime you have not committed. That's true. I am Ushiramiya Natsuhi. I will confront any challenge that will disgrace the Ushiramiya family. How can you try a bluff like that in a situation like this? You really are the bullied kid in every single fragment. You're getting a bit meta there. So, Ben, make your claims. I, Ben Castell, play a game that a human, Ushiramiya Natsuhi, is the culprit of this game. And you too, Beto, okay? I, Beatrice, claim that the culprit in this game is not human. I am the culprit. Listen, witches and humans, two claims prepared for a single truth. Is the culprit a human, Ushiramiya Natsuhi? Is the culprit a witch, Beatrice? If the witch wins, the truth bound the 5th game will disappear into darkness. If Erika wins, the illusion of the witch will be wiped from the game board. In other words, for Beto alone, this is a battle that must not be lost. Are you prepared? And what am I supposed to be preparing myself for? This has always been just what I wanted. dirty. Erica alone has nothing to lose if she fails. I wonder. Lady Byrne Castell is not a compassionate person. I can't imagine she'd give warm treatment to a piece that didn't perform to her expectations. Okay, no problems. Get started. In that case, I would like to go first. The murder of Hideyoshi-san is very simple. It should be impossible to suspect anyone other than Natsuhi-san. Except for the victim of Natsuhi-san, all of us were in the same room, correct? I do like that they're doing this in like the, invisible witch trial version as opposed to the version of just the family members getting all nasty at each other, because, yeah, it is kind of, like, I think even everyone's sort of being like, it's kind of getting kind of hard to listen to, just everybody just turning on each other. No matter how you look at it, the one who killed Hideyoshi was Natsuhi. No, it's the other way around. No matter how you look at it, no one except for Natsuhi could have killed Hideyoshi. There's no room for discussion or debate. I'm telling you, that's a mistake! Maybe I don't have an alibi. However, I don't believe an alibi proves the one that is the culprit. You know Natsuhi is the only one with that yes. But wait, the scene of the murder was a closed room. It should have been impossible for anyone, including Natsuhi, to have committed the crime in that room. It's for me, since I could have done it with magic. I'll explain the closed room trick, the how done it, later. For the time being, I'll start with the who done it. Because of the aforementioned, it's impossible to suspect any character except Natsuhi-san regarding the murder of Hideyoshi-san. Lady. If it suits her fancy, she'll set up Natsuhi as the culprit regardless of the facts. Inside this cat box that will never be opened, false charges that everyone accepts are worth no more or less than the truth. Your aim is most likely to use the simple murder of Hideyoshi to give the impression not yes anyway. Before moving on to the first Twilight reconstruction, which has more uncertain elements. Lady Lambda Delta, as you're aware, a fair number of murders were committed during the 5th game. We are skipping the rather lengthy chunk of time from midnight until the early morning. Skipping to Hideyoshi's murder and stepping backwards and forwards in time will only lead to confusion. It's my belief we should follow events chronologically and in order, so the decision is yours, of course. Objection. In the process of prosecuting the culprit, chronological order has no significance. Objection. Furudo Erika is trying to mix up the chronological sequence in order to create a false impression of the events. Well, I'm not a fan of confusing things myself. I accept Vito's claim. Erika started with the first Twilight instead of jumping to the second. I understand. So this is a way of telling Rokunjima's tale. Why is that in bold? Screenshot. I was guided by Vigilia, met Beatrice, reached the peak from where you can see everything below you, and finally understood the truth of this world. What does that mean? This is that thing you were talking about earlier, Vigilia. Yes, that's right. Truth is very fragile in this place. As long as each side makes its own claim, different truths can exist at the same time. Yes, this really is a trial. Both sides put forth their own truths. This here is the brawn tube trial that Vigilia once used in an analogy. And I will follow Lady Lambda Delta's yes anyway. As you know, at 24 o'clock on October 4th, the first day, following a short break in the family conference, Natsuki left on her own saying she was going to bed early. Therefore, her alibi is completely lost from that time until the next morning. Whoa, the culprit is Ushirumi and Natsuki, because Natsuki is the only one without an alibi. Whoa. Oh, is that so? I believe there are several people besides Natsuki who have dubious alibis, unless you can clear suspicion from all of them, and I cannot allow you to call Natsuki the culprit. We cannot conclude that Natsuki is the culprit as long as there are other people without alibis. Objection! Oh my god, what the wall of text. Wall of text. Oh, am I supposed to be able to read all this, or is it... Maybe we may not see... Okay, yeah, okay. True. Erica's gonna call Nazi suspicious so confidently, she's first gotta show everyone else as an alibi. Of course, my master. That evening I was alone in the guest house servant room. Yeah. Following dinner, Kumasawa left the mansion with me and the others and went to the guest house. I entered the waiting room and slept until morning. The same for Goda-san. Once he finished with his job, he chatted with us in the lounge and went to sleep afterwards. Neither of them had the opportunity to commit murder. Repeat it. We have absolute proof of Goda and Kumasawa's alibis. We refuse. Why give a hint to an enemy? There's no way we'd answer. Aha! Did you hear that, Lady Landvidelta? They say they have no proof. How could they claim that Goda and Kumasawa have alibis without proof? Good point. What do you say, Bern? Erica? How can you claim that they have alibis? Fall back, Erica. My opponent is Glanor over there. Even a human like you can be no match for a witch. No, there's no need for Glanor to step forward. In fact, it's precisely because a mere human will defeat a witch that the illusion of the witch will now be denied. So go ahead, use the red and blue as much as you like. I'm ready for it, okay? Goda and Kumasawa have no alibis. The two of them were in the guest house and could have reached the cousin room to commit murder at any time. Unless you can deny that possibility, you cannot treat Natsuki as the culprit. Here we go. This is the time where we fight with invisible guns or invisible swords. This is probably where Danganronpa also got it from. I will shoot your truth with my invisible gun. A human like Yerika can't use any red. How could she turn around without calling Zelanor? There's no way that a human could do this. This is on a witch's level. Though Erica cannot use her master, Lady Berncastel, can. We mustn't let our guards down. Blue Truth Ballad. What do you do, Ben? It is still not my turn. And it is not Lady Berncastel's turn either. Explaining it from first person Kumasawa-san is extremely simple. Kumasawa-san, Kumasawa-san, from the time you went to bed last night to the time you were informed about the crime in the morning, did you ever leave the waiting room? No. Truth is, after dinner last night, I had a chat with Eva-san and she told me something very interesting. I tried that out myself. And what exactly is that? You don't mean? That's right. It's what cornered and sealed Kinzo in his study. I learned that you can create a seal by putting something between a door and the frame. Oh, shit. Are you kidding? Did she actually do that to Kumasawa-san's waiting room? Erica was in the guest house, so there's no obstacle to her having been capable of that. After all, it was an unsettling night and a massive amount of gold had just been discovered. Many sorts of crimes might have occurred. Where there is a detective, there will be a crime. I foresaw that some kind of crime would take place, so I used this to steal away people whose alibis might otherwise be lost. After I watched Kumasawa-san, who returned to the guest house with me, say goodnight and enter the waiting room, I used this to seal the door. Then in the morning, when the crime was undiscovered and caused a big uproar, I immediately went to check Kumasawa-san's waiting room, where I confirmed the seal was still set. Therefore I can prove Kumasawa-san's alibi. Oh shit, this is cute. But How long is this gonna be? Good! A wonderful alibi, not a single gap. In other words, after Kumasawa-san returned to the guest house, she never went to the second floor until morning. What about Goda? Goda-san holed up in the guest room right after reaching the guest house. I sealed him up in the same way. Yep. Then, when Rosa-san returned at 1:01 a.m., I happened to notice her when I stepped out of the corridor. I let Goda-san, who was still in the servant room, know this. At that moment, the seal was still in place, so from the time he arrived at the guest house until 1 a.m., Goda-san never left the servant room. Afterwards, he was with me in the lounge until 3 a.m. And after 3 a.m., I was on the second floor, so I can guarantee Goda-san didn't come up to the second floor. After Goda returned to the guest house, he never went up to the second floor until morning. Red Truth Ballad. Well done, Erica. Yep. Thank you very much, my master. I am a detective. I may be human, but I can use the red truth despite that and surpass humans. Now you claim to surpass humans. It's 1,000 years too early for you to talk like that, conceited brat. This is the situation around the guest house. The gold was found in emergency, yep. My master, I ask that you repeat this. At 24 o'clock in the guest house, George and Maria, Jessica and Maria were alive. And in the second floor cousin room, Nandra, Goda and Kumasawa were on the first floor. And since there's no need to hold off on it anymore, I'll confirm that all the victims so far are dead. Yep. No murder occurred before 24 o'clock. We guarantee that George's group is dead. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Bleep, 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 bleep. At 24 o'clock, Natsuki, Kraus, and Genji were in a corridor on the second floor of the mansion. All the remaining people of the family were at the family conference in the dining hall. Of course, at that point in time, no murder had occurred. Genji was also alive. Damn it. Very troublesome to think would be put at such a disadvantage. This is almost the exact opposite of Riche's fights with Badler. In fact, the situation might be even worse than it was back then. In other words, even Beto doesn't know the truth, so you could say that Beto is now in the same position I once was. Also, though Erica might be perceived to be in the position I once was, the situation for her is totally different. She's connected to the witch called Bern Castell. Even though she isn't the Game Master, she is capable of elevating Erica's statements to become Red Truth. Because of this, Erica can use the Red Truth even though she's neither a witch nor the Game Master. Beto, who's supposed to be the witch, possesses no truth nor red she can use. And yet the detective Erica can use the Red Truth. The advantage is completely flipped over to the other side. In the past, Beto went easy on me so that we could fight on par with each other. Oh, I see. Like, I'm realizing this whole time Beatrice was holding back. past, I have insulted you and called you incompetent. I can handle much, much worse than this. From 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., Erica, Nanjo, and Goda spent their time in the lounge on the first floor of the guest house. Even so, he shouldn't have an alibi for the time period before and after you were in the lounge. It was possible for Nanjo to commit the crime too. That's right. I played cards with cousins in their room until 24 o'clock, and then went downstairs to the lounge where I met Dr. Nanjo. When I went to the library to solve the Epitaph's riddle, I noticed that there were several original copies of famous foreign mystery novels. Okay. We moved to the library and we were talking the whole time, constantly until we moved to the lounge. After 24 o'clock, Erica was with Nanjo the whole time until 3 a.m. After that, we walked out of the library and into the hallway at 1 a.m. When we did, we just happened to bump into Rosa's sound as she returned. I then told Goda-san about that. Yep. At 3 a.m., Butler-san returned. The people in the lounge went their separate ways. Dr. Nanjo, Butler-san, and I went up to the second floor. I then said goodnight to Dr. Nanjo. This time I put a seal on the door from his doctor's room, blah blah blah. Concludes the proof of alibis for all suspects in the guest house. Any problems? Rito's complaint is rejected. I can't see any problems at all. It's totally pop. You turn perfecto. Alibis for all humans in the guest house have now been proven. Wait a sec, Erica. Are you trying to leave me out of this? You sure me a battler should have had a chance to commit the crime. After all, I was in the same room with the victims all night. I'm not gonna let you skip past the part without ignoring me. It's like, no, you're not yet. Bella-sama, your right to speak has not yet been recognized. Be warned. Oh, damn it. Peter's right. Yeah, okay. Yes, I listened to him breathing in his sleep all night long. Got a problem with that? What? I, Furuto Erica, can prove that Butler-san returned to the cousin room at 3 a.m., that he went straight to bed afterwards, and that he went straight to sleep. And I can prove that until he woke up, noticed the gruesome situation the room was in, and let out a scream, nothing happened in that room. So you have no need to worry. Butler-san isn't the culprit. I guess, she's basically just cheating, right? The whole thing is like, no, not like this, because she's just, the detective is cheating. It's not fair. He's just a charming first discoverer who entered the murder scene without realizing he was one and slept until morning. Shouldn't be possible to prove that with those seals you love so much. How can you prove this? My room was right next to the cousin room. There was only a single thin wall between them. You don't mean... Put your ear against the wall to check what's happening in the cousin room? Yes, my ears are perfect. Right after Battler-san entered the room, I put my ear against the wall and checked to make sure nothing strange happened. You said you could prove that nothing happened until Battler let out a scream the next morning. You don't mean... Yes, I put my ear against the wall and listened in on that room until morning without sleeping a wink. Of course, this is, clearly just not fair. Through the progression of the game, I realized that Battler, the one who received the heads ring, would be a key player. I was sure the Battler would be a victim of the first Twilight. Yes, so just as my master told me to do, I put my ear against the wall until morning without a wink of sleep, checking to make sure nothing unusual happened. Erica has a photographic memory, and her hearing ability is on par with a tape recorder. It would have been impossible for him to deceive Erica's ears, either to kill George or the others, or make those wounds on their throats. It's an accepted power of the detective authorities. I have no choice but to acknowledge it. I'll confirm it in red. Bishirome Battler returned to the cousin room at 3 a.m. and fell asleep. After that, until the discovery of the crime, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happened in that room. In other words, it was impossible for Battler to commit murder or damage the corpses. All she has to do is prove they never visited the guest house between 24 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and she can prove those alibis. It was impossible to reach the second floor without me seeing it. What if that wasn't impossible? What if someone placed a ladder against the outer wall of the guest house and snuck in through a second-story window? There must have been a way to reach the second floor without passing through the lounge. That way it'd be possible for you to reach the crime scene without you seeing it. No, yes. Because of how the guest house is constructed, it's impossible to reach the second floor without me seeing it from the lounge. There are no places on the cover, nor are there physical or mental blind spots. I must repeat it. It is impossible, yep. I can't let you do that, Star Fox. Because how the guest house is constructed, the windows are the only method of entry from the outside to the second floor. The lock's not important at all. I only had to prove that none of the windows or shutters were opened even once. After I witnessed the location of the hidden gold, I returned to the guest house and immediately began severing all methods of entry to the second floor of the guest house that didn't pass through the lounge. Yes, it's exactly the same. Yep. You used the seal of all the windows. Eric, what you said, metagaming. It's like this is just the power. I guess it's them using the power of bullshit and making things up against them, really. So it was impossible to reach the second floor of the guest house without passing through the lounge, and impossible to reach it at all without Erica, who was in the lounge, knowing about it. Therefore, the time of the crime is anyway. Time of the crime is limited to a single hour between 24 o'clock when they were confirmed to be alive and 1 o'clock when our party in the lounge started. I've already said this, but at 24 o'clock I went down to the lounge, hit up with Dr. Nanja, was engrossed by the discussion of the literary genre and mystery genre in the library until 1. I wouldn't have noticed if anyone had passed through the corridor during that period. In other words, paradoxically means this. The only ones who could have reached the cousin room and committed the crime are those characters who have no alibi between 24 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Okay, you know, I'm actually confused, because here it's almost making it sound like Erica chose all of everything that she did that night specifically to make sure that Natsuki would be the only person who she didn't have an alibi for. But for the second Twilight, she didn't do that, Lambda did that, by making the phone call person specifically tell Natsuki what she needs to do and when. So, are they just working together? I don't know. 24 o'clock, Natsuki, Kraus, and Genji were in the corridor on the second floor of the mansion. The rest of them were in the dining hall on the first floor. And as you know, there was a mysterious knock, and a letter with a one-winged seal on it appeared. Discussions surrounding that continued on until 1. I will say with the red truth, of all the people in the dining hall, not one of them left the dining hall until 1 a.m. The red truth is simply truth, and there is no need to provide evidence, proof, or room for counter-argument. You made that rule. Yep. When Genji finished transferring the call, he immediately returned to the waiting room. That's just a cold hard truth without any evidence, proof, seals, or alibis. Got it? We're just cheating now. Erika-chan wasn't the only one, okay? I was also certain that something would happen that night. She's the person who told me how to make those seals, and she helped me to check the alibis of all those people under suspicion. During the break of 1 a.m., I went to Genji-san's waiting room and used the same seal as Erika-chan. In other words, if that wasn't broken, it would mean no one entered or left that room between 1 a.m. and the next morning. At 1 a.m., Ava sealed Genji's waiting room, and that seal was broken by Kanon and Kumasawa that morning when the crime was discovered. It's to be a pain. During the short break in the 1 a.m., first two to leave the dining hall were Rosa and Ava. Until Ava returned, everyone in the dining hall remained there. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Ah, yes, Kendo-san study is a treasure vault with all kinds of chemicals. I obtained all sorts of results to create an ultimate truth, infinitely close to a red truth. This isn't a science mystery, so I'll spare you the mystery details. You act like you own the place. From now on, I'll tell everyone I meet. If someone claims to be a detective, never welcome them into your house as a guest. It's probably a good idea. Giving shelter to a detective is just about the worst omen of misfortune out there. Ushumi Anatahi, I'll give you one last chance. Confess that all the crimes were the work of your husband. Oh, do I look like the kind of woman who would falsely accuse her husband? Vito, Natsu's denied it. I'll give you the same chance. It's like those witches distorting things so that they match with the plotline Eric has drawn up. That's right. If the Game Master, Lady Lambda Delta, accepts the truth, its authenticity will not be questioned. The world that comes after this will be formed based on the final remaining truth. This happens no matter how far the final truth is from the real truth. There's no way Uncle Kraus is the culprit. Being out of prison somewhere. Wait, can't deny anyway. Erica's truth has been constructed in a cowardly fashion, but it is a proper truth. If the witches did conspire with her, it is still being acknowledged as a red truth. It cannot be a fake truth built solely on lies. On the game board, where the red is steadily quartering Natsuki, how do you intend to let her escape? I don't know. However, I seriously don't want to give up. Aunt Natsuki was just caught in a cowardly trap. Erica's reason has fallen for that trap completely. So whether it's intentional or she's being manipulated, Erica is aiding the true culprit. I don't like it. If no one else will believe in Natsuki, then I will. The real truth isn't something that's determined when everyone accepts it. It's something you find after thorough investigating both possibilities. So this trial is a downright lie. This trial exists for no reason other than to set Aunt Natsuki up as the culprit. Vito is trying to refute Erica's argument. She's just defending. You can't fight in this trial by simply resisting all of your opponent's claims. This is why Vito always cornered me in the past. She isn't going to beat Erika by finding flaws in her reasoning. She has to find a different truth and show Lambda Delta, the commander of this game, that her truth is more correct than Erika's. It's even okay if the culprit for the crime was a witch. That's better than having Natsuhi be framed by an incorrect truth. So no matter how much red truth you are shown, you won't believe that Natsuhi's the culprit, correct? For all things, there should be always some people who believe and some who don't. No matter how much evidence is stacked up against her, someone has to believe she's innocent. There must be several truths in the world that cannot be proven with evidence. I don't ever want to accept that something's true just because everyone says it is. This court is a malicious thing trying to force a single interpretation on a truth that cannot be checked. I believed that there was a civilization on the backside of the moon. So I was in elementary school and I was made fun of and laughed at. So I thought it was embarrassing to think that the civilization lived on the moon, and I threw away that belief. I've been told by my book my mom had read that rabbits lived on the backside of the moon, so I believed that. When everyone said it was wrong, I abandoned that truth without even trying to check it. If no one else will believe, then I will. I believe the real truth only believes if you look with both eyes, one denying and one affirming. No matter how much she tries to make us believe Aunt Nancy is the culprit, I believe she isn't. I won't abandon that belief. Okay, then I'll give you a single red truth. I will give this single bit of power to you, now that you possess the will to fight in the truest sense. Power? By the name of the finite witch Virgilia. No, as the former witch Beatrice, I will grant you this red truth. Yushiromia Natsuhi is not the culprit! Bum, bum, bum! Holy shit! Then, what? A plea bargain. If you acknowledge that Kraus is the culprit, Erika will suspend her pursuit of Natsuhi. I won't allow you to treat my husband like a culprit. My husband is the successor to the Uchinomiya family headship. Yubito, you understand, right? The instant Natsuhi is specified as the culprit, Lambda will make her verdict. As soon as that happens, the illusion of the witch will be denied, and you'll disappear into the mist. Do you plan to let Natsuhi's foolish bragging drag you down to the depths of hell? Chess analogies. My apologies, I cannot do that. I know the strength of a man who believed even though everyone said he was wrong. And I know the suffering he went through when he was forced to abandon that belief. I will not abandon Natsuhi. Why? Because if everyone else suspects Natsuhi, then someone has to believe in her. This truth can only be found in the gap between those who doubt and those who believe. I won't abandon her. Even if everyone believes that Nazi is the culprit, I will still claim that I, the witch, am the culprit. We're doing the same thing, me and Battler. Only when you doubted and abandoned it yourself does disappear. By the name of Berncastel, the Witch of Miracles, I speak with the red truth. Ushromiya Kraus is not the culprit, and he was killed long ago, shortly after you heard his voice over the phone. Get it? What? Oh, poor Natsuhi. No. If her husband had been lost, then right now she is the last person who can protect the honor of the Ushiramiya family. She still couldn't handle it here. Nope, it's all over. It's been determined with the red truth and none of the remaining people in the dining hall left that room until 1 o'clock. In other words, alibis have already been proven for everyone except Natsuhi. Uh-oh. Is this it? Is this the end? Right when they start reading aloud from the verdict. At 24 o'clock on October 4th, 1986, the defendant, Ushiramiya Natsuhi, left before the others while pretending to return to her room to sleep, and murdered George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, and Genji one after another during the 1 hour period before 1 a.m. Let me tack something on to the circumstantial evidence, include the murder of Kraus. Yeah, that's right. In this situation, it's unthinkable that anyone except Natsuhi could kill Kraus. A revision to the verdict. During the hour before 1 a.m., Kraus, George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, and Genji were killed one after another. It's only possible for any of these murders to have taken place between 24 and 1 o'clock. The only person without an alibi during this time was Ushiramiya Natsuhi. From this point on forward, the defendant will be treated as the true culprit. Furthermore, because it has been fully proven that the crime was possible for humans, Beatrice and this witch, this court of illusion hereby denies your existence. You'll be given a chance to plead your case, but can you prove an alibi for Natsuhi? Or can you prove there was anyway? If you can do that, yep. I am the true culprit. Natsuhi is innocent, even without any proof. The truth is only known by the master of the night of this island, Beatrice the Golden. I am Ushiramiya Natsuhi. Now that my husband has passed away, I am the head of the Ushiramiya family. My determination will not bend no matter how much you try to humiliate me. As the good father gave me permission to engrave the family crest of the one-winged eagle into my heart. How do you intend to disprove the existence of this honor with your evidence and your alibis? You cannot. The Ushiramiya family crest engraved into my heart is immortal. What do you mean? Stop, Lady Berncastel. Since it already been overwritten with the truth you wished for. The truth, your truth, and Nazis should be able to coexist. Please don't defile it, please. Oh no, she's gonna proclaim that Kinzo is dead, isn't she? Natsuhi? When did Kinzo ever say it was okay for you to engrave the one-winged eagle into your heart? What the fuck? Oh god. Oh no. The one-winged angel crest. Oh my god. Yeah, that would have been a good joke. Those were just the words of the Kinzo from your delusions, weren't they? You know, the real Kinzo, not once in his entire life did he ever trust you from the bottom of his heart. And not once did he ever consider letting you bear the family crest. Holy shit. Natsuhi, you need not listen to this. No one can defile the Christ engraved in your heart. That is yours alone. Don't let your pride as the final family head be forgotten forever. Natsuhi! Just shut up and disappear, you miserable delusion of Natsuhi's. That's enough, you lying illusion. The real Kinzo wouldn't say that. Disappear. You, the illusion of the Kinzo inside Natsuhi's mind, beautified by Natsuhi to suit her own purposes. True Kinzo never once trusted Natsuhi during his entire life. Except in Timeline 1, he did. I swear we saw that. True Kinzo, never once allowing Natsuhi to bear the one-winged eagle, because of course, Kinzo had already vanished before the start of the game. The Kinzo that appeared in this game is nothing more than Natsuhi's delusion. Oh yeah, right, because they were saying that he was like this, in fact, in all timelines. So he... Okay, oh jeez. Oh, this is sad. Every part of this Kinzo, who believed in Natsuhi and entrusted her with protecting his family honor, was a phantom created by Natsuhi. Pitiful woman, you will now face the truth that you never gained Ishinomiya Kinzo's trust as long as he lived. She lost everything. She lost her entire family. She's lost her pride. She's lost her meaning for existence. Yeah, unfortunately, Game 1 Kinzo was also a delusion. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Right, because it... Oh. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that is sad. If that's always been the case, then oh, that is that is really sad. That is all. Just because the crime exists as it does, this level of reasoning is possible for Furudo Erika. What do you think, everyone? Come on, Battler, you gotta do something. You can't end like this. It's like the worst possible, most depressing ending ever. Wait, is that seriously the end? No. No, okay, it's in that case, it's conclusive, isn't it? Unless the culprit is a witch who committed murder with magic, that is. It was you. She stood up, brushed her long hair, pointed at Natsuki and said it one more time. You're the culprit, Ushiromiya Natsuki-san. And here we get to when Battler shows up. Give them back! Get back George and my husband! Why did you kill them? You murderer! Murderer! Not son. I've solved 2 of the 3 riddles. The who done it and the how done it. The final riddle, the why done it, must always be confessed by the culprit herself. Please follow the rules of the mystery genre and confess. If this was a third-rate mystery, you would let out a high-pitched laugh about now, confess to the crime, and start telling the story of her sad past. Don't tell me you intend to make me explain that past as well. I am not the culprit. Oh, now she's gonna start saying, you see, it's because they're in debt, and Kinzo is a, Kraus is a loser, and he loses all of his money, and he doesn't mean anything, and she doesn't mean anything, and she's been lying, and she's a horrible, terrible person. Okay, well, this is just torture porn, so let's just see. Bye, Beatrice. I made you a witch, expecting that you'd either become my friend or help distract me from my boredom. And you've answered my expectations. The second one, that is. Now I am a witch, even if Lady Lambda Delta doesn't acknowledge it. I'm a witch. Oh, sure, but you wouldn't even be capable of believing that if I hadn't become your guardian in the first place. Yep, this is game over for you. You'll be buried in accordance with the rules of your game board. What happens to the losers in your game again? Peter has already showed that clearly in the previous game. You get made into a mound of living flesh before being tossed into the goat's dinner party and being chewed to bits. Now there's a fitting end for you, Beatrice. And I did come all the way here just to hear the death cries of one as haughty as you. I like how this game puts you in the perspective of the witch's side by making the detective such an asshole. It's an interesting way of doing the answers. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like that sort of, you know, showing that light isn't good, right? And dark can have some good elements to it. The villain side has some points, but I mean, I think the first 4 episodes showed that as well. You know, like episode 4 especially, what with like all of the witch stuff with Ange, but. My question is just then, yeah, what happens? Are all of the next few episodes all going to be like this? That's the question. Our contract said that whenever you stopped entertaining me, you would relieve me of my boredom with your life. Come, strip the title of the witch from this woman and throw her into the pot of goats. Follow Beatrice. Oh shit. Is that Battler wielding his like red sword coming in like a hero to stop Beatrice from dying? Is that it? Is he fucking like cutting the... No. Oh no, it's Lenor. Huh. I actually was not expecting that. What's this supposed to be, Lanor, Inquisitor of Heresy? My apologies, but I have something to say. There is someone who has an objection to this ruling. His name is Ushiromiya Butler. What is unsatisfactory about the court's ruling? Do you possess any new evidence or truth sufficient to request a retrial? get it. Slanor is offering me a helping hand. If she hadn't jumped in there, it'd all be over. Now I fully understand how I'm supposed to fight. Because I understand how, I'm unable to fight right now. After all, I can't win by simply countering Erika's truth. If I want to deny her truth, I'll need to present a different one. And I still don't have a clue what that truth is. This is a whole lot more interesting. Oh yeah, this is how stories work. You think you know, and then you don't. There is nothing that is not healed with time, and there is no truth that cannot be reached if you spend enough time searching. However, all trials have a limited time in which the truth must be decided. Therefore, a truth that cannot be reached within that limited time cannot become truth. Yeah, I know that. By now everyone's certain the Nazi is the culprit. Might be too late now, even for the real truth. I slowly stood up, walked in front of Fido, and faced Lenore. I have no plan. I don't know the truth. However, if I don't jump in now, I won't get another chance to fight. The red used by Erika's group is mercilessly strict. I seriously doubt I can put together a truth where Aunt Nazi isn't the culprit without violating that red. Then I'll just violate the red truth. I'll cut the red truth off even though you can't. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that'd be great. By the uncertain face. How pathetic. Damn it. Butler. I'll be the one to kill you. I want to keep that promise. And yet, right now, I don't have any plan at all. That's okay. In this world, there is no truth. The truth is made later on, and overrides what comes before it. Real truth doesn't exist anywhere. Now this is a splendid scenario, Lanor. It just wouldn't be interesting unless a knight appears before the princess's execution. And there's nothing better than watching heads roll before your very eyes. Erase the old piece and the unneeded player all in one go. As you wish. Glory to be to great Lady Berncastel. I am the head inquisitor of heresy, Lanor A. Nox. Step forward, Ushiromia Butler. Damn it, I've got nothing more to lose. If you want to see me struggle, I'll show you! The only reason Erika's theory is so strong is because of those seals. She was given red so quickly just because Lady Delta quickly bought the alibis created by those seals. Seals aren't the red truth. Just sticking paper in a door crack is far from perfect. There's no way something like that can prove anything with certainty. Again, Butler. Ready to let those goats turn you into a pile of meat along with your beloved Beatrice? Oh, and I'll mix in the leftovers from your precious sister in that pile. But nothing for one full stack of meat. Damn it! Can't we doubt the reliability of these seals of Erika's? Something like wedging some paper in a door can't create a perfect alibi. Might be that someone knows by chance and happens to put it back in the same place. I was wondering you threw it, yep. Packing tape, of course. Furthermore, I wrote my signature, which cannot be reproduced in 3 places. Yep. Therefore, it's impossible to tear this without relieving a mark, and it's impossible to reattach. Permission to unsheath the red key. Due to the above, these seals are guaranteed to be perfect. However, Aunt Eva's seal and Genji-san's room should be different. Eva's seal was the same type of Miss Erika's. That is because this method of sealing is one that Miss Erika and Eva conceived of together after dinner. Erika said something about a scientific investigation fished through the chemicals in Grandfather's room. Might be some kind of solvent in there. You might be able to tear it. It's impossible to tear off any of the seals by any method without leaving marks. There were no suspicious marks in any of the seals. They were not tampered with in any way that hindered their abilities. Were the seals all that you had to discuss? I promised that I'd kill you, so I won't let anyone else do it. I'll definitely keep that promise! Liar. I'll never trust your promises again. Huh? When did I ever make a promise to you, and what was the lie? After hearing you say that, hell might not be so bad. Kill us, Ben Castell, Lambda Delta! Is it over? Pitiful. I truly am disappointed, Ushiro, mere battler. Let's assume that there exists some method X that can lead someone through the second floor of the guest house without passing through the lounge. Erica claims the windows and such were sealed, but she can't prove that, since she sealed all possible means of entry. It's a possibility that Erica was unable to seal entrance X because she couldn't find it. Noxus Third, it is forbidden for hidden passages to exist. Yep. I present the possibility Erica's lookout in the lounge wasn't perfect. So the Erica's lookout in the lounge is perfect. That really odd Rosa. Noxus 10, it is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. Noxus First, it is forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of the story. Noxus Fourth is forbidden for unknown drugs and hard to understand scientific devices to be used. Noxus 8, it is forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Noxus 6, it is forbidden for accident or intuition to be deployed as a detective technique. Noxus 7, it is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. Noxus 8, it is forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. This tale is filled with malicious lies. The tale has always become a trap to capture Natsuki. The tale should be constructed only from impartial truths. Noxus 9th, it is permitted for observers to let their own conclusions and explanations be heard. I was the culprit. Anyway. Yep. Yep. All victims' deaths were homicides. No examination of the corpses could have been mistaken. No corpses exist of those besides those of characters who have appeared in the story. The Ray truth is simply proof there's no need to provide evidence or proof. Come on, Battler, where's your shonen power-up? Everyone's beating the shit out of you. Oh, this is so... You know, that's enough, Battler. Now the endless torture that torments me, no, us, will finally end. Let us fall together into the depths. Does your truth no longer exist? I have one last thing. And that is a different truth where Nazi isn't the culprit. That's not it. All I can do is prove that Nazi isn't the culprit. After that, I can't show what the real truth is at all. And even so, maybe at least you'll be saved that way. I can show without a doubt that Aunt Nazi isn't the culprit. However, I cannot show a different truth. If Erica's truth is dispersed, the crime will return to darkness, and there might still be room for you to exist. Yeah, if you can do it. But if you can't show a new truth, that means you're incompetent and useless as a player. I'll have you banished from this game board for all eternity. Sunset, the time had come to abandon myself for the sake of this other person who would eventually appear, for the sake of the real truth. Oh shit. Well, looks like I'll have to break my promise to kill you after all. Don't leave me as the only one alive. I'll disappear with you. Let that be your final tribute to me. I beg you, if you do this one thing, I don't need anything else. Have you used up everything you have? I really am disappointed in you, Ishiromiya Battler. Quickly, perform his requiem. That way I'll have an open field in which to expose Atsuki-san's sin. This is the end. If you still have one last bit of power, let me see you muster it now in your last moments. Small, but it's a sparkling red truth. The last trump card Vigili gave me. Erica, this takes your theory back to square one. If you can, why not go ahead? Take this! Ushiromiya Natsuhi is not the culprit! The red truth is simply truth, with no evidence or proof needed. This will make Lanor stagger. Even if that's all it does, it's the first and last strike I can make. Noxus second. It is forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as a detective technique. What the fuck? No! Huh? My red truth was blown away by Lanor's red longsword. In this court, if anyone other than witches is going to speak the red truth, they'll have to construct an appropriate proof for it. Erica's been following this procedure, right? Okay. No, you can't use the OP power. Sorry. Your right truth isn't something you obtained yourself. It's a supernatural truth given by a paranormal being. In other words, it isn't reasoning. It's no better than a random thought. In that case, if I have Vigilia say the same right truth, where is Vigilia? If you present her, yep. Can you do that? No, it's impossible. I mean, I think Battler does know what the Nox's truths are, but like, he's not really thinking about that. I just have the truth that Nazi isn't the culprit without any basis or evidence. See, real truth is a very fragile thing. Does real truth exist? They might be in the tips. Actually, it's a good question. That's a good point. No, they are not. No, unfortunately, they are not. Not this time, at least. They were last time, I think. Even without it, the tale will continue on. Battler. Come on, Battler. Prove the red you have shown. If you cannot, this is goodbye. Then, goodbye. Sorry, Vito. Don't say that. Thanks for sticking around with me. It was such a blood-stained tale, but it was fun. The trial is now finished. Finish. Die to that sentence. Blah blah. Is this the end? Because if so, that'd be a fucking great cliffhanger. Are we dead? With that, the trial for the 5th game ended. The detective Furuto Erika accused the culprit, Nishimiya Natsuhi. There are 3 riddles that the detective must explain. The first is the whodunit. Who is the culprit? Yep. Second is the howdunit. Yep. And the why done it is because she's in debt and stuff. Are you trying to tell me that they're going to put Battler in a Jesus pose? Rest in peace, Ushiromiya Battler. What a shame. I thought you were a more capable person than this. F indeed. That was... I mean, I guess it's not over yet, but if this is over, God, this is a fucking depressing one. Yeah, we know that. We know why. Yep. Yeah, she's gonna be explain everything. Through my investigation, I, the detective Furuto Erika, have discovered the general outline that explains this. I would like to announce it now. Yeah. Oh, of course, yes. Nati-san ended up marrying to Kraus-san due to special circumstances. I imagine that all of you here know much more about this than I do. Nati-san were not married because of love or as a normal arranged marriage. Taking a hostage. I am a hostage being imprisoned by the Ushiromiya family under the guise of marriage. However, if everything could be resolved this way. Nati-san, right here, you've already acknowledged you are a hostage. Yep. Oh, this is very sad. Therefore, since the time Nazi-san first took the name Ushiromiya Nazi, she has held a long, strong resentment against the Ushiromiya family. Oh, this is so sad. Does anyone need evidence to say that they're in love? Get it? She doesn't understand love. Get it? Get it? Without love, it cannot be seen. Yep. Okay. No. Okay. Probably gonna have to. You know what? I'll come back later. I'll come back later. It's just getting too close. I need to have something to eat and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of know where this is going. So I'll finish it off after dinner.